Good morning. Happy Tuesday morning. Hope you guys are staying dry out there. I think it's actually stopped raining by now, or there's a couple sprinkles still. But yes, welcome to What's Brewing Behind the Scenes, our Tuesday chat. I am a wedding and brand photographer based in Austin, Texas. And yeah, I just get on Instagram Live every week to talk about different things, what's happening behind the scenes in my business, different tips and tricks, any questions that you guys have. And yeah, also just talking about what's going on while I make my morning coffee, because coffee is pretty important to me. I'm a proud Italian that loves coffee. I played with coffee when I was very little. I don't even remember what it was, but it was definitely like I had a coffee pot and I had a little bit of coffee, a ton of milk, and I would just, play not tea, but coffee, even when I was little. But today our topic is gonna be something kind of fun and lighthearted. We're gonna talk about what's in my styling kit. So I talked about what's in my photography bag, what do I take, hello, good morning. What do I take with me as far as gear, but then I wanted to talk about something else that I take to every wedding, which is my styling kit. So hello guys, give me a little heart if you love to style invitations like I do, or style all the details. So I used to go to weddings and I didn't bring a styling kit, and I would just kind of use the surfaces that were around, or find something, find a pretty chair, and I would get frustrated because sometimes they're just, sometimes there isn't a good chair, or sometimes there isn't a good surface that's beautiful to photograph, that's in the perfect light. And so I went to a workshop, Michelle Boyd's Workout, shout out, which is a great workshop. She was so great on just giving a lot of information. And during it, she was like, and then with my styling kit, and I was like, what? You bring a styling kit to a wedding? It was like mind-blowing for me. And it just made perfect sense. Like, of course, I would bring a beautiful surface with me. I might have already been bringing boards by that point. No, I couldn't have been bringing boards if I didn't have a styling kit. So it is really important for me to incorporate unique details from each wedding, and to really, emulate what the feel of the wedding, the details that are important to my brides and my couples, and not to put myself in too much in those images, but still having some items that support their items to make it just really pretty. I'm going to show you today what I style with and what I use. So, whoop whoop. I got some hearts there for styling. I'm gonna make my coffee real quick so we can dive into everything today. I'm gonna knock over my cup because I can. So I hope you guys all had a good weekend. Mine was a little bit crazy. It was actually one of my last crazy weekends of spring wedding season. So I was able to kind of just push through it and know that on the other side, I get a weekend off. So I don't know about you guys. I get Memorial Day weekend off. I have nothing that I'm doing. We're going to the lake as a family, and I'm super pumped about it. Just to give a little bit of, time off, a rest, a break for my soul. So I'm really excited about that. I love it when you guys leave notes and I have to get closer. Oh, teach you about the pour over? I love it. Okay, so today I have my Chemex out because I want to use my pretty cup. And I use my kettle. I love this kettle. It's glass, and it's amazing. So I heated my coffee. Typically I didn't do this because I didn't want to take too much time on my coffee this morning, but typically I will put this on a scale and I'll measure it. So for a full pot, the full Chemex of coffee, I'll do 55 grams. And then for 1 cup, I'll do about 28, 29 grams of coffee grinds. And then, I start to just first kind of open up my my coffee, my grinds, and I will just pour a little bit of hot water all over them, get them soaked, let them blossom, and then start to pour the rest of the water over it, the hot water, and it just kind of makes your coffee that way, and it's really clean. And obviously it depends a lot on the coffee beans that I'm using, but it tends to be just a really clean, flavorful cup of coffee. Are you guys laughing at me as I describe my coffee so in detail? But for me, I'm the only one in my family that drinks coffee. Actually, my husband has started drinking coffee just recently. And so I had a Keurig for a while. It was one, for my 1 cup of coffee. And then I realized that you can't totally get those things clean, and you're brewing through plastic and having a lot of waste. So I really wanted to find something new to do for my coffee. And so I did a pour over, and I love it. My cousin Anne, shout out to Anne, taught me about the pour over. And I'll never forget the first time I went over to her house, and I was like, show me everything you do. And she measured, and I was like, oh, that seems like a lot of work. Who measures, how much coffee you put in there? And then I was kind of like, actually, that's pretty key to making sure that your coffee is really good every time, being consistent. So it actually is a pretty key step. But yeah, just pouring that hot water over there, making sure you're kind of like moving things around. I really love it. So I'll make a full pot sometimes and then put a lot in the fridge. My husband typically drinks like a cold brew or cold coffee, and we'll put it over ice. So that's kind of how he'll drink that coffee. Yes, add a kettle to your, or a Chemex to your registry. I love it. I also have just like a simple 1 cupper. It's just like a little ceramic white, so that I actually put which this is also a key thing, stainless steel, what do we call that? Coffee liner. I'm like totally having a moment right now. I have a stainless steel one, and it was actually quite expensive, but it's worth the price because it's lasted forever. I have not done an AeroPress. Is it really good? Is it like a coffee machine, or does it? I'm gonna have to look this up. Please tell me more. But yes, so this stainless steel, I really love to have that because again, I'm having even less waste, which for me was almost more like, I just don't want to have to buy things over and over and over again. I just want to be able to buy it once and have it last forever. That's my goal. That's my goal. So yes, I really do love it. And my mother-in-law just bought me this really pretty mug. So I love it. So I would add a Chemex to your registry, and I would add the filter, which I can actually message me and I can send you the actual filter that I bought, because I really do love it. And that was not the first one I bought. I bought a cheaper one and it didn't work as well. Because the holes are like different sizes and it can really change your coffee. So yeah, that's what I think you need. You also need a grinder because you want to make sure that your coffee grinds are a little bit coarser than a normal just coffee maker, drip coffee maker. So yeah, that's my pour over. I love my coffee. I'm very passionate about it. And I put all kinds of things sometimes in it. MCT oil. I didn't even put my cinnamon in it today. I have cinnamon, then my Califia almond milk creamer. It's actually a blend of almond and coconut cream. So yeah, I love it. I'm gonna try and actually make cashew milk thicker and then actually use it as my creamer as well. Maybe a little bit of maple syrup in there. What do you guys think? Your hubs loves it. I might have to look into this AeroPress. I've done this for a while, the pour over as either the 1 cupper or the Chemex, and I've just loved it. So I'm gonna pull out, you guys like, what? This is what I bring to every wedding. Yes, I bring this to every wedding. It's not a big deal, it's actually pretty thin, and I actually love this bag. So I first bought some boards. Let me just have a sip of my coffee, you guys. This is important stuff. So I bought the boards initially from Heirloom Bindery, and you'll see this really thin board. It's by Heirloom Bindery. Heirloom Bindery is a wedding album company. They use beautiful linens on their albums. Hi guys. And they also make these boards. They're incredibly expensive, like $150, $160 a piece. They're double-sided. So you can get 2 different colors. You get to select the colors. And I invested in them in the beginning, and I actually had quite a few. But the thing about it is they get dirty, and you can't really, you have to kind of spot clean them. You can't, I don't even know, there's no other way to clean them. So they would get dirty. I use a lot of florals when I style, and so and I'm just carrying them around and using them on interesting surfaces. So plus double-sided, I'd always lay it on the actual canvas bag, but they would still get dirty. So it's just not cost effective to every season buy, you know, a couple $160 boards. So I know that some people actually have like a layout one, ones that kind of roll out. I have not gone down that route yet. I'd love to see it in person. I guess I have seen it in person. I don't know how, it looks like it photographs really beautifully, but I'm trying to figure out how to make them myself. So, and I'm not a crafty person, you guys, not at all. I'm like not DIY at all. But this guy actually bought some linen. I bought this linen off Etsy. Everyone keeps saying like, oh, I just went to Hobby Lobby, or oh, I just went to Michael's or Joann's and like found beautiful fabric. I have found it incredibly difficult. I think I must not be a good scavenger because I just haven't found the right linen that I want. You know, each linen has like a different kind of weave too, and like some look good in pictures, some don't. It's got to be right, just the right color. Are you gonna show me how? Beth, can we please go to like, which one do you like better, Joann's or Michael's or Hobby Lobby for fabric? Let's go together. Is there like a fabric district in Austin? In Houston, there's kind of like a fabric district downtown. Maybe I should go in Houston. But I bought them off Etsy. There's somewhat cost effective. You kind of get like I think it's a whole yard, so then you can make several boards out of it. So this was actually just a gallery wrapped canvas, the thinnest one I could find, and then I stapled it and tried to iron it. You can kind of take some of these lines, just kind of happen, and you can see like certain things will catch when I'm styling with it, and so I need to make a new one now. Right now I can just kind of Photoshop it and work with it, and it's not the big of a deal. You're putting stuff on top of it, so it doesn't have to be a perfect surface, but you don't want it to be getting in your way or you to be editing too much afterwards, right? So then I've got some like invitations at the bottom of this bag. It happens, you guys, it happens. I did not even clean this up. You guys are seeing the legit behind the scenes of what my styling kit looks like at the end of my busy season. So this is so funny. So this is a makeup bag, and it used to close, you guys, but you know, I keep adding new things in here and then it doesn't close anymore. But I think I'm gonna get another one. I just got it from Target, super easy. It's one of those kind of like, I think it did have a hanging, but I took it off because I don't need it to hang. But yeah, this is how I kind of organize everything. I think I want one more just because as I keep growing things, I keep getting more items. But this has really helped me to have this kind of makeup organizer. It makes things a lot easier. It makes everything reachable. Wait, what do you mean? So you spilled coffee on it and then did you change the fabric all over the entire board? Beth is talking here about how she spilled coffee on her styling board, which I would die. And you know I have some coffee while I'm styling. That's great that you were able to fix it. I'm actually gonna try something that I learned from someone else that is using a thick foam core board and actually thumbtacking on the back the fabric, which sounds like so easy and simple, and you know, it would last for a few months and then you'd get some new fabric and new boards. So, all right, at the top of my styling kit, you guys, this is where I keep all my stamps. All these stamps are different vintage stamps I've got throughout at different places. You see like my little Adorn stickers here. So there's different shops on Etsy. Literally just Google vintage stamps. I have like favorites that I use. I try to kind of do them by color collections as well. And I really like, you know, leaning towards more like floral based ones, more neutral colors, maybe with a little bit of pink or a little bit of blue. Those have been the ones that I've used most often. I got like a color thing and it's like, I mean, when am I gonna use purple? I mean, you know? So that feels a little bit waste. And this one's like too contemporary for me. I have, what are my favorites? Like this gentleman is gray. I use him. Since a lot of my details that people use are a little bit more neutral. Guys, I can't even find some of my favorites, which means, oh wait, this is one of my favorites. This pretty bird. He's blue, he's got a little bit of gray and just like a tiny bit of yellow. But yeah, so I don't always add these. It depends on if I have something that I think really complements the overall details. I won't just add it in just because I need to have stamps in there. But I'd like to have them if I want to use them. Or if, I only have the invitation, the actual card, and then I have to add in more elements, that's when I'll use that. So yeah, so right here is where I have most of my ribbons. I've purchased from different ribbon places. But yeah, I just keep trying new ones. But this one is a velvet one that I like, but it's kind of thick. But I kind of just like bunch it up, maybe put it in the bottom right-hand corner or do something. So this is a gray velvet. I kind of like some of those smaller velvets too. I want to get that. I always have like a list of ribbons that I want to get. I'm going to talk about these in a minute. They're on the wrong. I think my bottom compartment is getting a little bit full. Okay, so this one is from, who is this from? This is a new company. It's an Etsy company that I really liked and bought a lot of things from. So this is kind of a gold ribbon. This is a copper one. Like, what? Gorgeous. I do feel like this is a little bit big for styling. It's just like a ½ inch, a little bit big. Let's see though. Well, maybe yeah, this one's just a hair bigger than this one. This one is Frou Frou, I believe, or Adorn. Adorn company has beautiful ribbons. They actually have styling kits that you can buy, and you get a big ribbon and a small ribbon, and you get to choose them, and they also have fabric, and I feel like there's something else in there that they do, but they have a styling kit and it's really great. You are styling a coffee cup? Who is this bride, and why is she not my bride? Her bride was like, I like coffee so much, please style it. I'd be like, yes. Maybe it was one of those, I had a bridesmaids that had a Yeti, and had like personalized Yeti, like little cups for all their bridesmaids. And I was like, number one, I want one. And that's such a great gift. I love my Yeti. Look at this black I got, I love it. So this is really nice too. But yeah, all the colors, all the things. I usually find that, each season I need to buy something, there's more blue. Last season actually there was a lot of blues, or blues were new. I still don't have a blue, but yeah, just finding an extra little ribbon or two to buy. Grays, I have literally like a million grays, and I have some smaller ones. Like this is kind of a light, really more nude color, and they don't need to be super long. This one looks like I've got 2 yards in here or something. That's a little bit more, but which sometimes it's really nice to like wrap around, wrap underneath. But yeah, so all the ribbons. Ribbons are so funny too, because how long can we spend just making the ribbon perfect? This is actually why I style more indoors than outdoors, because sometimes, you get such pretty light outdoors, but the ribbon goes everywhere, right? Am I right? She made a custom stir stick and had donut holes that we put on top of a pretty coffee cup. The bride was a details dream. That sounds amazing. We had cute little gold straws with little like flags on them at my wedding on Sunday. It was so cute with their names on it, and that was in their champagne glasses. Everyone at the cocktail hour had it. So cute. So yeah, so all the things, a little pink one. I tend to like things that will go, with really neutral things. So like getting different whites and golds and blacks and grays, every kind of gray you'd ever need. And you'd be surprised how often I just use white. Because again, I want to either be styling within their colors or, complementing it, not adding something else onto it. Do you know what I mean? So this white one actually, it's a little baby one too, and I used this on my Sunday styling. This is terrible, but this is a florist's scissors. I had the coordinator, Ellen, help me pack up my styling kit, and then she put these in here, which I'm like, what? The best scissors in the whole entire world, but I feel bad. I'm gonna get them back. But I do typically have a pair of scissors in here that I will cut, the stems with, the flowers. So typically what I'll do, I'll get to a wedding, I'll have my kit, I will go immediately to whatever the ballroom is or wherever the florist is, grab some styling stems, which typically consists of like some greenery, some flowers that I know are a little flatter, that I can kind of just, like, I even love those little tiny roses, like those little blush ones that are so pretty, and the little white ones, and I love to like clump them together and put some greenery on it. It's so pretty. And then also maybe some smaller things that you can kind of sprinkle around, just getting different sizes of florals and some greenery. And then I'll go sit to wherever is close to the bride's area and get all the stuff that I need for the details. So typically the invitation suite, I always remind them again and again, invitation suite with all the pieces. I want, envelopes, more than one envelope if you have a liner, the reply card, all of those things. And then I'll get all of the rings, and then I'll get shoes, any other paper products they have, the program, the menu, place cards if they even have them close to them. If they want me to style some stuff with them, all their jewelry, those kinds of things. I'll just take all the pretty stuff and get started with that. So this is really fun. This is actually what I got in that Adorn styling kit, is this kind of like meshy fabric. And I got something really neutral. I wouldn't mind having a light gray, maybe even a light pink. Although gray sometimes can be difficult to edit, it's like, how warm do you want? How cool do you want it? So white really does help a lot. I love to like put this underneath my bouquet when I'm styling it on the board, if I'm doing that, or under the shoes, just anything to kind of add some texture and some softness to it, if I'm wanting to keep it, really simple. I love it. I use it all the time, actually. And then I've got all these fun things down here. So first off, I've got some stuff. One of the big tips I wanted to talk about, and that I'm trying to do more myself because I didn't always do this, is to really add different layers within the invitation suite and any paper goods. So not laying them flat on the board, but actually elevating them a little bit to give them some height and to have some shadows, and just not have them all flat laying on the board. This also helps with a little thing called ribbing that happens, especially with linens, especially if you're indoors and there's some shadows. It just, sometimes if you're flat on the board, somehow when it's making the board sharp, if anybody has the correct terminology for this, if the board is in focus, like completely and utterly in focus, it does this little ribbing. So if you shoot a little bit shallower, it can fix it, or just elevating the invitation and focusing on that, the wording and the type on the invitation will eliminate that kind of ribbing effect. So these guys, this I learned at Sophie Epton's styling workshop, which was awesome. And these are just a little acrylic risers. I think you can even actually take this, I don't know. But I think people buy, I don't know what they buy these for, but if you Google on Etsy, or not, I guess not Googling, when you search in Etsy and you just say acrylic shops or acrylic risers, these are literally just, I bought them all individually. And then I've got a lot of them, so I can kind of stack how I want. I also have, someone said one time, little staples. These little staples you can also put underneath them. Or also sometimes if I'm wanting more height, I use just one of my ring boxes that I'm not using underneath there, which that really gives a really nice height. So I did that this weekend. So that gets into my ring boxes, which are so fun. So the first ring box I ever bought was a Mrs. box. It's this little silver one. I tend to really try and buy some neutral boxes to be able to get as much as I can out of them because they're expensive, right? So this is my only official Mrs. box. You can even buy like 5 of them at a time and get all different colors, which is really nice. They do have beautiful, beautiful boxes, but they're very pricey. And then people have been replicating them and getting other ones. So this one is just from someone on Etsy. It's a gold one that I have, use it all the time, love it. And then now they have new fun sizes and shapes. So these, I just got 2. I got a little blush hex and a white one. And can I tell you how many times I've used a white one? First I was like, I don't know if I'll use a white one because I usually use a white board. a lot of florals on there, but I actually use the white one all the time. It just looks super elegant, you know, with some different metallic features, or you know, I have these little gold scissors sometimes that I'll put in there. The white just really, it's really nice. It's really pretty. So I was actually shocked at how much I liked the white. So I got these pretty guys. I got these off of Amazon. Isn't that awesome? I mean, they were $40 each, beautifully made, like really well done. So we'll see how they hold up, but so far I'm really happy with them. They're not super big, but it's actually probably pretty close to the Mrs. Box. Yeah. I feel like I've seen ones that are bigger than this. But yeah, I really like them. So done. I also have some other like kind of bowls that I use for different things. The one thing I do really want to add that I have not added is some like little trays. So I need to go, maybe Beth, maybe you'll go with me and we can go like almost vintage shops and stuff to do different trays. And you can also get just coasters, like those beautiful marble hex coasters that I've seen people style with. But those are just kind of the perfect little feature. I need some little gold dishes, some little gold trays. Which trays gets into bigger, right? When then you're like really haul a bunch of stuff around, because I do style for the most part in the day of the wedding. I have some actual vintage ring boxes. So yeah, I have a gold wishbone. I have yet to use it. That's so pretty. I have my gold goose scissors that I style with and cut things with. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I bring on the day of the wedding with me, and then just start to style with all this stuff. You do need, you know, a good amount of time at the beginning. Usually my second shooter is capturing the bride and the girls getting ready at this time while I'm doing all of the styling of the stuff, because I really kind of have to get in the zone and kind of, you know, lay everything out. So having someone else kind of capturing all those moments that are happening that you don't want to be missing because you're styling. But, you know, I think the more and more I've done this, the more that my brides enjoy it and it's what they want as well. So yeah, what else? I wanted to give some more styling tips. So talked about how you don't want to lay flat. You want to actually elevate and do different things like that in order to create the flat lay. Balance is also a really big one. So if you are looking, you know, from top to bottom or left to right, like thinking about how, you know, if you use some pink at the top, you want to use some pink at the bottom. If you're using some greenery up near the top portion, then you're going to want to kind of sprinkle it on the bottom as well. And then making sure that everything is straight, but not perfectly straight. This is kind of a funny one because I am a type 1 Enneagram. I am a perfectionist, and I've had people actually give me feedback before that my stuff is too perfect, right? So I have to intentionally, you know, you want to make sure that things are straight, but then like the actual invitation. But then sometimes I'm like, okay, let me challenge myself to not make everything perfectly up and down, and to maybe have the envelope like this, or maybe have, you know, the reply card kind of swayed and just not so perfect. And then kind of bringing in things that are loose like this and sprinkling in little balloons or different things that could help. I still have my Mother's Day flowers. Don't laugh at me, you guys. But some of these are actually ones that I styled with at my house. And then some were the ones that I got for Mother's Day. I actually do not see any that I would. These guys, although they're not fully alive at the moment, they were really good to style with because you can cut really, really close to here and lay them down. Carnations tend to fall apart a little bit, although you could kind of maybe pull them out and maybe sprinkle them around. These I wouldn't necessarily use because, oh, it just fell apart in my hands, because I can't lay them flat, right? There's even certain greenery that I love that kind of lays more flat, rather than some greenery. I don't want to see like the back part of the greenery, do you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll even snip a few and then just arrange underneath a flower, because I do find that you're using flowers and flowers and flowers, and if you actually tuck some leaves and some greenery underneath, it tends to like anchor those flowers a little bit and feel a little bit more natural. So yeah, does anybody have any questions about styling? Do you guys love this stuff as much as I do? I really do. I'm a total geek about it. I don't know why I love it so much. I think it's just because it's pretty and, you know, it's just taking everything that the bride has, you know, meticulously picked out for her wedding, and I'm able to kind of style them in a pretty way that, you know, elevates them even more, and it looks great in an album spread, right? So anyways, you guys are the best. If you guys don't have any questions, feel free to DM me later with any questions that you have. If you guys want to hear more about styling, let me know that as well. I love doing it and have, you know, really challenged myself to become better. I don't think that I'm the best, but I do really enjoy it, and I do seek education and trying to better myself as much as I can, right? So, you guys are the best. I hope you have a beautiful Tuesday, and I will see you next week.